To the remarkable Tomcats of the class of 2026, you truly made us proud. Now it's my honor to present our salutatorian. Elizabeth Corral Moreno attended Dietrich Elementary School from kindergarten to second grade and was then accepted into Fred Rogers Magnet Academy for 3rd through 8th grade. While in Magnet, Elizabeth found an interest in student leadership and joined the student council. This interest persisted throughout high school, where Elizabeth again joined the student council, freshman class council, EAHS, senior class council, and became one of the student representatives of the Board of Education. Elizabeth plans on attending the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign while majoring in data science. Her passion for the realm of data science began in her junior year in AP Research, where she got to present her data to an associate superintendent of the district. For seeing worth in her research, Elizabeth would like to thank Mr. Gillespie, who made the meeting with the associate superintendent possible. And she'd like to thank Dr. Amy Engel, who took the time to meet with her and listen to her findings. Elizabeth would also like to express her appreciation for her friends and family, especially her sister, as they are a main source of motivation for her to continue growing as a person. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the East Aurora High School class of 2026 salutatorian, Miss Elizabeth Corral Moreno.
Firstly, I'd like to thank everyone who came out today to celebrate the accomplishments of the 2026 East Aurora Tomcats. I'd also like to congratulate every Tomcat who is sitting before me and on the stage, as we have reached an incredible milestone. I'm standing here today for my family who never doubted me and my friends who have made every day in school 10 times better. My father specifically played a role in where I am now because of his constant encouragement to be the best I can be. In kindergarten, he started to make me complete several workbooks. Every time I heard 10 pages, I knew it was time to sit at the dinner table with my Home Depot carpenter's pencil that was sharpened with the blade of a pair of pink scissors and get to work. With this routine that continued for 3 years, he instilled in me the idea that success doesn't come without intentional sacrifice. Both my mother and father are the greatest examples of this that I can provide. Both joined the military to be able to earn a degree from a 4-year college without any debt, giving years of their lives away from their families in hopes of being able to provide once they return. To this day, their efforts have proven worthwhile, as I've yet to see them face an obstacle they cannot overcome. I can only strive to be as resilient, a feeling I'm sure many of us here have in common. My parents showed me the payoff of hard work and dedication, but my sister showed me the benefits of taking time for myself. While under pressure of completing an assignment, I could always count on her to help relieve myself of excess stress. She'd take me out for a weekly Fast Food Fridays trip, a blind box haul from Miniso, or to a new cafe with a matcha variation she had set her eyes on. No matter how uneasy I felt about school, hanging out for just 30 minutes would make everything go away. We should not feel guilty for prioritizing ourselves, for if we do not take care of ourselves, we cannot do the same for others. I cannot end without acknowledging my greatest in-school support, Officer Kidd. My first time ever speaking to him was my freshman year while waiting in lines for concessions. My aunt had told me to say hi because she thought he was great, and after talking to him myself, I had to agree. Almost immediately, I felt comfortable with Kidd and decided that I would catch up with him anytime I could, and I did. At one point, we had developed a routine where we'd meet at the top of the atrium, talk while watching everyone head home, and then at the end I'd get a fist bump with the reoccurring, "You here tomorrow?" when he knew I'd always say yes. Every good and bad update was carefully listened to and followed by a thought-provoking question that made me discover myself. So thank you to Officer Kidd. I'm positive you all have that one person who's been by your side, so today I'd like for you all to go to them and thank them for all they've done. Honestly, writing this speech wasn't easy for me. I struggled so much because every time I think about writing, my mind would shut down. The speech represented the end of high school and all the memories I had created, and served as a reminder that in a few months, I'm expected to move away to a foreign place all by myself. At first, I thought I was ready to move on to the next chapter, but time was moving so fast that I didn't want to let go, so I held on to my last assignment for as long as I could. I'd like to say I got the courage to finish writing because I realized it wasn't so scary, but it was actually because I had my final due date. I imagine a lot of you all felt similarly to how I did. Nervous, scared, worried, but I also imagine you've all figured out that this isn't a time to bombard yourself with the future. You have the entirety of your future to worry. Today should be the day you spend with your family and friends who guided you through high school in celebration. Go out to eat, take pictures, reminisce about the past 4 years, but remember, it's not the end like I once thought it was. It's a start of something new. Congratulations to East Aurora's class of 2026.
Thank you, Elizabeth. It is now my pleasure to introduce the valedictorian of the class of 2026. Zian Laliwala, son of Fatima and Mashir Laliwala, is a current graduating student at East Aurora High School. For elementary school, he attended Allen Elementary School. After, he spent 3 years of middle school at Fred Rogers Academy. Zion spent 4 years at East Aurora High School, being part of the chess team, the math team, and track and field team. He served as a member of the Student Athlete Society, secretary of the National Honor Society, president of the Science National Honor Society, and a student board representative. Zion plans to attend Harvard University pursuing a degree in applied mathematics and economics. Zion would like to give special thanks to his parents and sister for supporting his ambition, alongside his classmates for making his 4 years at East unforgettable. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the East Aurora High School class of 2026 valedictorian, Mr. Zian Laliwala.
As I was writing this speech, I thought of all 800 some of you who sit before me and thought all of you deserved a speech too. Each taking away a different experience from your 4 years, each with your own stories to tell. I'm deeply humbled to speak to those of you who I know possess the talent and skill it takes to be successful in life. I and many others of you have been waiting patiently for this moment, a new level of freedom and ownership of our lives that we will eagerly take advantage of. In many ways, the future is up solely to us. I also don't think I'm alone in saying that it can be nerve-wracking too. But I urge all of you to trust in your work ethic and drive, to believe in your capabilities, and carry ambition and direction towards your goals. The only possible failure from here on out will be not pursuing your desires out of fear. Take the lessons and experiences most important to you and carry them through your life, regardless of whatever path you take. But most importantly, remember the people who helped you get here, the ones who saw you at your worst and still chose to support you, the ones you may have drifted from, and those you've grown closer to throughout the years. These people deserve to know the stake they had in your life. The most important things I learned from high school came from no textbook, video, or notes packet, but the individuals around me. Through every class and extracurricular, I'll remember most the people I share those moments with. I'll always remember the group presentations, trying to sneak something funny into the slides so I'd be less nervous, the projects made with passion that turned out sloppy, the tests that every single person in class thought they had failed. One of my fondest memories is the Physics Six Flags trip, where we ran around with matching capes and tried our hardest to get to each ride. Being a part of that group and peer pressure to get on every ride was a special feeling. All these moments are times in high school that I found belonging. But the greatest example for me is track. I joined junior year and regretted having not gone sooner. I found support from my peers at every turn who kept me coming back, even when I was sore or discouraged or just wanted to quit. This experience taught me to never shrink or shy away from anything out of fear. One of my best memories is of our conference meet last year, when the whole stadium light went out, and there were athletes doing backflips with our phone light shining. But the greatest part of my track season has been watching my teammates grow and improve, and who trusted me enough to share their joy with me. I wouldn't trade any race or time for those moments. I implore you to run through the days in your mind and hold your own memories close to you. Finally, I wanted to save my thanks to the end, as I view it not just as a formality to get through, but possibly the most important thing I get the opportunity to say at this scale. I'd like to thank my track coach, Kimani Williams, for checking in on me on my worst days and investing in me, even when I wasn't confident in myself. That meant more than I can say. I'll always remember the familiar phrase, "That's better," after every single rep. I'd like to thank my teacher and coach, Shane Gillespie, for opening my eyes to the joy of reading and discussion after I decided to pick up his favorite book on a whim and then never look back. I'd like to thank my sister, who all my life has served as a role model and positive influence, and whose shoes I always wanted to fill. And now I find myself giving the same speech that you gave my freshman year. I'd like to thank my friends for every moment we shared and for making the ordinary feel worth remembering, for allowing me to be confident in myself and value a greater part of me than just my academics. Lastly, I'd like to thank my parents for their unwavering support and the effort and sacrifices they made for me. Sacrifices that I'm only now beginning to fully understand and I'll spend the rest of my life being truly grateful for. To the class of 2026, it has been an honor to speak to and to be a part of this community. Congratulations, you deserve it.